Morning. We are back for another Monday of the Wow Experience. I am your host, Stephanie A. Wynn, and we have once again Jocquice. Wait a minute, Coach Jocquice J. Spikes in the building. If you are an author, if you are in business, if you are in career leadership position, tune in, grab your pen, get your friends, because we're going to drop some nuggets today, y'all. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Miss Jocquice J. Spikes to the show. And we're going to be talking about them shoes today, about the WOW experience. And for those of you who don't know what the WOW experience is, it is the Women Overcoming Waste. It is a leadership brunch. And we are this is going to be something that has never been presented in this way before. So join in, tune in. We're ready to get started. So I'm super excited. Thank you, Jay, for tuning in. If you're listening, tuning in from LinkedIn and YouTube, hello, good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, Jay, we're up. We're up with these shoes. We're up with these shoes. Yes, yes. So, Jay, start everybody off this morning, this wonderful Monday morning, with let's give them a little overview of the WOW experience. We've talked about releasing the bags, changing your hats, and this week we're talking about walking in the right shoes. So let's give them a little tidbit of what the WOW experience, what they're going to learn and take away at the WOW experience.
Right. Okay. Well, good morning. Thank you so much for having me again. This is so good and fun, and I'm so looking forward to the WOW experience. So if you don't know, the WOW experience is a leadership brunch for women. And the reason why we're calling it the WOW experience, first of all, it stands for Women Overcoming Waste. But we also want every person attending to walk away saying, wow. And wow, in the sense that it is not going to be like your usual brunch where you come in, you get super motivated by the speakers, and then you walk away, you're like inspired, but that's going to wear off after a period of time, right? I mean, let's just be honest. And so Stephanie and I want you to have something tangible in your hand. And so that's one of the main things that you're going to be saying wow about, because you'll be able to execute over and over and over again. But we're going to feature disruptive leadership mindset tools. And we call them disruptive for a reason, because you hear a lot of mainstream things about having a work-life balance, about what leadership is and isn't. And so we're going to disrupt all of that. And that is what you can expect at the WOW experience. You can expect to come in, be fed physically, and be fed mentally and spiritually too, I would venture to say. So we are here to serve. We're here to give you the truth about what it takes to be a successful leader in business, a successful leader in your career. And we're going to take all the things that you probably think you know and blow them up a little bit. So that's really what the WOW experience is about. I'm excited about it. You need to be in the building. It's at the beautiful Crow Canyon Country Club in Danville, California. And if you've ever been there, you know it's a beautiful location. It's so serene and peaceful there. So we intentionally selected that to kind of just set the mood. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody September 10th. It's a Saturday from 11 to 3. So that is the WOW experience.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So for those that are wanting more information, I've placed the website wisehatconsulting.com/wow. You can go there, grab your ticket. It's really, really affordable, guys. So if you want to, jump in on that. And look, it's time for us to remove the waste. We talked about releasing the bags first, because before we can, like I said, before we can bring about change, we have to release some things, and those are bags. A lot of us have been carrying around so many bags. We're mentally carrying a mental bag of bondage, where we, our thoughts are just really taking over us. We can't move forward in anything. We can't release anything because of our mindset, right? It starts with your mind. And again, to remove anything or you want to bring about change, it starts with the mindset, right? So that's one of the things we're going to talk about is the disruptive mindset. And then we talked about the hats, your habits, associations, and talents.
Thoughts.
I mean thoughts.
That's
Oh, where did I get that from?
a
Habits,
good one.
associations, and thoughts, right? And again, your thoughts. Again, we're talking about these thoughts. Like,
Yep.
what are you thinking? Like, where is your mind? Where is the mind? So again, you gotta join us at the WOW experience. So Jay, let's get right into it. So let's talk about walking in the right shoes. When you say walk in the right shoes, what does that mean and so that people understand what shoes mean? We're gonna break this down for you. So we're talking about shifting, we're talking about honor, we're talking about being observant, expanding, and serving. So Jay, let the people know what is shoes. What does it mean to
Yes.
really walk in the right shoes?
So I want to say first, it is very intentional on our part, right? That we took on I think any woman is going to fall is good. These three things we're talking about, releasing the bags, changing your hat, and walking in the right shoes. If you don't love a good hat, a bag, or a pair of shoes, right. I'm just saying, either you love all three, or one of them is really your thing, right? So like for me, I got a closet full of shoes and bags. Got a few hats too, right? So we don't want you to forget these things, right? Releasing the bag. You never look at a bag the same way. Changing your hat, right? Putting the right hat on. So today, shoes, my goodness. So let's just start with it. Shifting, right? So again, it's all about mindset. And that's intentional as well. As a man thinketh, so is he, right? So if your mindset, if your thoughts are not in the right place, you won't be able to get and see and achieve the things that you want in your career or your business. So shifting your mindset, shifting your approach to things, shifting how you talk, shifting how it could even be shifting how you even approach an email or a conversation, but shifting is the S in shoes. And so it requires you, if you're talking about, so once you've released the bags, you've changed your hat, now you got to walk in the right perspective. So shifting that mindset is very important, first and foremost. Any thoughts on shift, Steph, before I hop into honor?
Sometimes, so just to add to that, sometimes it's hard for us to shift, when we're trying to walk in the right, like you said, walk in the right perspective. So sometimes when we're releasing bags and we're changing our hats, that sometimes that shift can be difficult for some people. Some people, they're just stuck right there. So that's really good. That shift is really good. It's so important because, I mean, you just think about with the COVID-19, a lot of people had to shift their life, and sometimes life will bring about a shift or two or three, right? So we have to be in a position to be able to pivot and shift when need be. So yeah, really good. Good.
Being flexible. That's good. Yeah. Okay, so honor. H is for honor. And first and foremost, honoring yourself. So oftentimes as women, we will take care of everybody else and we're last. And we're last in our health. We're last in, just everything, right? And so mentally, physically, we're last and everybody else is taken care of. And in a sense, we all think that's great. That's what we're supposed to do. But I'm going to tell you, just like they say when you get on the plane, you hear it all the time from the flight attendant. And she or he means it, right? You are not going to survive. If that plane loses altitude, loses oxygen for some reason, you're not going to survive putting everybody's else mask on first and then trying to get to yourself last. We've got to learn to honor ourselves. And so then the flip side is, okay, well, Jay, Steph, that's selfish of me. And I would have to say to you, it is not. Self-care is not selfish, right? And we throw self-care around too. So some people do equate it to being selfish. And so what we're
Right.
saying is take the time to honor yourself. Steph, you and I were just talking about this before we got on this morning. For some
Yeah.
of you, it could be early morning. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
else is around. Nobody else is awake to bother you. And for some, maybe it's in the late at night, or it could be midday. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
timing that is that you need to carve out to take care of you, hit the reset button, honoring yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. Steph, I want you to share what you do at the end of every month, but honoring yourself so that
Right.
you can,
Mm-hmm.
the next things that we're going to talk about with shoes, but you mainly so that you can take care of everyone else and be at your most optimal, be most efficient. If you're running around addressing everything and everyone else except for you, how can you bring your best self to your business, to your work? It's you're going to burn out. And that's why some of us feel so burned out so quickly,
Right.
because we're putting out all these fires and there's an inferno happening
Mm-hmm.
with
Mm-hmm.
us. So Stephanie, share what it is that you do every month to honor yourself.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Jay. So every month, I decided in January, the last week of every month, um, that's my self-care week. So I garden, put my hand in the dirt, in the soil. Um, I get me some sun. Like I don't
Yeah.
every like if I get as much as I can every day, but I go to the beach. I just get so in tune with what I'm doing, like for me, because
Mm-hmm.
like you said, Jay, we spend a lot of time. We're focused on the kids, the husband, the household. We got to do laundry. Baby needs shoes. We need all of these things, right?
Yeah.
And it's so important that we focus on ourselves. It's okay to be into yourself and get the help and the rest that you need. A lot of us are running on fumes, and so when we run on fumes, that's not good for your brain. That's not good for your body, and your body is saying help, like help me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then when it's finally time for you to like lay down, it's like you're so tired and you have nothing left to give no one. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes what happens is burnout. It even get extremes to where people just they they want out, they
Yeah.
want an exit, they just shut down. That's where depression, things start happening, and the signs were there before, but because we neglected to take care of ourselves. And like you said, it's okay to put into you, like honor yourself, because if you don't honor yourself, nobody else will. And
Right.
so people, we're in a society where it's always take, take. You're pouring. If you're constantly pouring, you're pouring. Eventually, that cup is gonna get empty, right?
That's
Or
right.
that gallon of water is gonna get empty, and then when there's no more water, then now there's a drought. Like
Yep.
you're dehydrated,
Yep.
right? So again, we have to honor ourselves more so now than ever before, because if not, we already know, like you said, we're going to burn out. So yeah, definitely take time for yourself. Start getting into a schedule of, okay, even if it's an hour a day.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna take an hour a day. If you like to read, and read for an hour, no phone, no social media, just 1 hour a day. It's okay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I promise you, it's okay. If you like to take a walk, go take a walk. Get some fresh air. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe you have to take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, and and go about your day. Um, it's really important that we start being more focused and honoring like your personal space.
That's
And
right.
if that means putting up boundaries so that you can
You read
get
my mind.
if that means that you have to put up these boundaries, okay, I'm not going to let that get in the way of me honoring myself, my
Mhm.
self-care time or my me time, then that's what it is.
Right.
You know, cut the phone off.
That's right.
You know, cut the phone off. I mean, it's important. Like it has to start somewhere. I hear people all they're on go all the time. They work a nine
Mhm.
to five. They have a business on the side, and or they have a second job, and they're just go 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 go. And then it's like, okay, you have no time for yourself. You're working, 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 and there's no time for you. So
Right.
how long is it going to take for you to continue to go on this hamster wheel before you say, "Hey, you know what? I'm tired of this.
Mhm.
I want to walk in the right shoes now. I'm ready. I'm releasing the bags of this hamster wheel. I'm changing my hats on this hamster wheel. Now I want to walk in the right shoes." And that again, that's going to require that you shift. You got to honor yourself, and then I'll let you finish the rest.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. You took the words out of my mouth when you talked about the boundaries, because
Mhm.
for people listening that'll say, okay, yeah, that sounds all good, but
Right.
how do you do that? Or I can't do
Mhm.
that. I don't have time to take a walk. I don't have You have to make time. You have to schedule time, and you have to be as diligent about that time as you would be any other appointment that you have
Right.
that's super important to you.
Mhm.
Right. So if you had a hair appointment, ladies, you're not going to miss
Mhm.
that hair appointment. Right. So we're
Yes.
not going to miss the appointment that we'll make to get
Mhm.
up and go for a walk.
That's correct.
That's good. That's good. So let's move to observant. So the O
Mhm.
in shoes is for observant. And that is just being self aware, being conscious of what's on the horizon, being inquisitive about what's next, and being open, doing like even a data dump of all your dreams and goals, writing
Mhm.
everything out, and just not having your head in the sand. And this is
Right.
another thing that you'll hear a lot in corporate, particularly from women too, is okay, I'm just going to put my head down. And you and I have talked about having this mentality, early
Mhm.
in our careers, right? We're just going to put our heads down, do the work, and somebody will notice me. And
Yes.
how can I be observant if my head is in the sand, right? How can I know
Mhm.
what's coming, what opportunities are there? I never talk to anybody. I'm never interfacing with anybody. I'm not asking any questions in any meetings. I'm not, if I'm running my own business, I'm not teaching myself about the next technology that's coming that can help me automate my business, right?
Mhm.
I'm not observant at all. I don't know Bitcoin, like all this stuff, crypto, Bitcoin,
Right.
all these new things that are coming. I'm just,
Mhm.
on the horizon. For example, we have no idea. NFTs,
Right.
we don't know what any of that is, right? So
Mhm.
being observant is important in your career and in your business. You have got to anticipate or be inquisitive enough to ask the right questions so that you can anticipate what's coming. Having
Right.
goals, having plans, right? Looking
Mhm.
around, and then bringing it back to you, being self aware,
Mhm.
right? That's a part of being observant too, understanding
Right.
how you are viewed, understanding how others see you. So observant is really important as far as walking in the right shoes, right? So,
Yes.
that so that you can position yourself appropriately for the things that you want for your career and your business,
Mhm.
and not miss out on those opportunities. Stephanie, you got
Absolutely.
anything for observant?
Yeah, you definitely like so when you said you have to observe, like it's definitely something we got to do more of. Like again, like you said, Jay, when I worked for the bank many years ago, or when I started, it was like I'm gonna be this great employee. I'm just going to, come in, be on time,
Right.
and have great work ethic because that was instilled in me from my parents, and so they'll notice me. I'm
Right.
just, typing like you said with your head in this, you just type, and there were often times where I knew I qualified for positions, but because I didn't take the time to observe the situation and say, okay, let me apply for this position, let me step out, right? Because I was too afraid. And I remember getting a one of my annual reviews,
Mm-hmm.
and my manager said I need to be more flamboyant.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, right.
That's all the way to the right. That's an extreme, another
Yes,
extreme.
and I was
I get
like, okay, but you gave me, so if, for example, if you could get like a 5, you know, it can't really give you a 5 because they have to document why you, okay, why, that means you're perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so you got to give me a 4.87,
Mm.
right? Because I'm not flamboyant enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, so I had to really, really observe and stop thinking the way that I would think, because I got to look at this from a different type of lens now. Where do I want to be
Mm-hmm.
in the next 5 years, 10 years? What do I want to do? Do I want to work harder or smarter? So
Right.
sometimes, again, like you said, being observant, that is important. It's
Mm-hmm.
important when not just with your career, but even in your business. Like if you are a business owner, you have to be observant, definitely, that more so there than anything else. You and
Right.
on the personal side, because what I do know is if your personal life is out of order, it will show over, it will spill over on the business side and in your career,
Oh yeah.
right? So it will show. So again, you have to observe where you are on your journey more often than anything anytime else. Like you have to
Mm-hmm.
more now. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you have to.
Yeah. So the one thing I want to add to that is this thought that just dropped, or this visual that just dropped in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about being observant, right? And we're talking about thinking that we'll just get noticed if we just, put our heads down and work. And the fact that your manager at the time told you to be more flamboyant, wow, what an adjective to describe, right?
Yeah.
But the vision that I just got is the peacock bird. So when you think about a peacock, let's just envision one just walking around. You notice it. Oh, that's a peacock. Okay, beautiful bird. But when that bird, I believe it's the male that does this. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but with one of them, the fact is this species, when it wants to get noticed by the other mate,
Right.
what does it do? Those wings come out and they're beautiful. They're just glorious, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. They're fit, and they kind of like move a little bit like this, and you're like, wow. I mean, they're just beautiful, and it makes you stop and notice. So
Mm-hmm.
just think of a peacock in all its glory with those beautiful, colorful wings. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of metaphorically what we're saying here. You can't walk around thinking, okay, everyone's going to notice how beautiful I am.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, and you got to do this with humility. That's a whole other thing we'll talk about later,
Right.
right? But the just think of the way that the peacock expands its feathers to get noticed
Right.
by that mate. So
Mm-hmm.
you're not, if you think that you're just going to put your head, even in business,
Mm-hmm.
what makes you stand out? What makes your business stand out over the other, right? So anyway, we won't get too deep. We'll save that for the WOW experience. But
Good.
that's the visual.
Good
That's the
morning. Good morning. I want to give a shout out to Zilla R. Gray. Good
morning.
morning. She said, "Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Velma.
Good
Happy
morning.
Monday." Awesome, awesome. So yeah, yeah. That's, and you talking about the peacock expanding its wings.
Yes, to
Yes.
get the attention of the mate. That
Yep.
is what it does. It
Wow.
does. With
Wow.
no shame. With no shame, right?
Mhm.
I'm here. This is who I am. Look at me. I'm beautiful. All right. So let's move on to the E in shoes, which stands for expand. Oh,
Mhm.
this one's good. So a lot of times we want to grow, we want to expand, we want to be promoted. And as we should be walking in expansion, but you have to make sure you're prepared. So that's why releasing the bags and changing your hat is
Mhm.
so important, because if you don't do those things and you're looking to expand, you could be expanding yourself beyond what
Right.
you're capable of doing because you're not prepared. And I always liken it to that metaphor. I always have a metaphor, Stephanie, you know me. But with the rubber band, right? So think of an old brittle rubber band that you haven't used in a long time, right? You're that if you have, if you're not prepared to
Mhm.
expand and you go to pull that rubber band, that sucker is so brittle, it's going to pop and break into pieces real
Right.
quick, right? Versus one that's been stretched little by little over and over and over
Mhm.
again, it's going to withstand that pressure. So, one, knowing that it's time to expand, but then preparing yourself for that expansion so that when you do stretch, right? When you do go outside of your comfort zone, when you
Mhm.
do pursue something new, you're prepared to do that. You have the right things and tools around you to do that so that you don't break, right? So
Right.
that's really what expanding is about. It's also, back to the mindset, expanding your mindset as
Mhm.
well, and not
Mhm.
getting stuck in that fixed mindset with okay, I'm not good enough for that level of management. I'm not good enough for that level in my business. I can't expand my business and go off into this area. Or maybe you need to shut the whole thing down and do a reset, a rebranding, right?
Right.
But
Right.
thinking that you can't do that, right?
Mhm.
That's the whole mindset piece about expanding. Anything
Right.
you want to add to that, Steph?
So yeah, so I definitely agree with, you have to be in a position to take on whatever it is that you're about to take on. You have, and like you said, if you're not in a position to expand, grow, a lot of us say, I want to, take my brand to the next level or business to the next level, but you're not in a position to go to any level because there's no systems in place, there's
Right.
no plan. And so when you're starting to be stretched and you're trying to go up and go to a level, well, to get to that level is going to require something from you, and that is, we know effort and time, but it's going to require, for the purposes of the wow experience, you got to release the bags, you got to change the hats, and you got to be ready and prepared to walk in the right shoes. So expanding is good, but it also can be um like fear.
Yeah.
You could be afraid to expand because maybe this just doesn't feel right, or maybe I don't know what to do, which direction to go in. And so as you expand, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your business, you just have to be prepared. And you may be asking, well, how do we prepare? Well, you have to ask yourself, okay, what is it that I'm wanting to do to remove the waste,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I remove this waste, for my women out here, fellas, we got you too. But if I'm gonna overcome this waste, the bags, the hats,
Right.
and walking in the right shoes, right? I have to do something. And it may require that I do something totally out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
But to do this, it's gonna require time, effort,
Yep.
you know, one thing I do know is to expand in, out, or up, to scale up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be ready for that.
Yes.
And a lot of times I'm ready, I'm ready, I want more clients, I'm busy, I'm just so busy. But my question is, okay, you're so busy now and you don't have any clients. So if you get clients, you're not going to have enough time for them,
Mm-hmm. You got to
right?
make room.
So you
Yeah.
have to make room, and some of that room is releasing the bags, the
Mm-hmm.
bondage in your mindset, the anxiety, right? The gluttony, the slothfulness. It's going to require that you remove those things, and that comes to, like, all of these things are helping you with mind, body, and spirit. Like it's all whole. Like you're becoming whole in a sense of being better. No, we're not perfect, but if you want
Right.
to bring about change, what I do know is, in order to expand, it's going to require something from you, and that's definitely effort and time.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's move to this last one in
Okay.
shoes. S
Okay.
stands for serve.
Yeah.
Oh, depending on what you were taught about the word serve, servant, submit, that's a associated word with serve, you may feel like, I'm not doing that, right?
Right.
I'm not doing that. And the truth is this: if you're a leader in your business, if you're a leader in your corporate job, in your career, you should be serving.
Right.
The problem is that the way that we define what serving is,
Mm-hmm.
and so either that's the issue, or it could be that there's so much of a misunderstanding of what leadership really is, that
Right.
when someone comes and tells you the truth and that it's really about serving, you're
Mm-hmm.
like, wait, what?
Yes.
Right? So when you're in a position of leadership, or when you're in a position of, okay, I'm running this company, what are you doing it for? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Your job should be to make the people you work with, the people who work for you,
Mm-hmm.
beside you, you should be
Mm-hmm.
making their jobs easier. That's if you're in corporate. Now, if you're running a business, you have a thing called customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're there to serve your customers. So remember earlier we talked about shifting and putting ourselves first and making sure that's to make sure you can serve effectively, right? You
Right.
can assist people in the appropriate way. I tell this story a lot too. Early on in my career, I had a mentor who would tell me how to work with my folks, right? I had a team at the time. My very first team was 9 people. And so I went from a data entry role to, like, literally the next week, I'm a first level manager leading a team of 9 people. And not only was it just an ordinary team of 9 people, they had 30 plus years with the company. Here I
Mm-hmm.
am, barely, I think I might have had 3 or 4 at the time. I'm young, I'm in my like 20s.
Right.
I won't even bore y'all with the stories. They're probably very entertaining. They're not boring, they're entertaining, but we won't go there. My
Right.
point is this: that she pulled me to the side, my mentor, and said, listen, you can't go in there trying to tell these people what to do. They've been doing this job for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need them to be able to be successful, right? To perform at a certain level. So instead of telling them what to do, ask them to do you a favor. Now I was like, what? Yeah. You already know that you could just crack the whip and say, I said do blah, blah, blah. I'm giving you a work
Mm-hmm.
directive. You know all the special words we use,
Right.
right? You could do that. But what are you gonna gain from that? Are you gonna
Right.
have the relationship that you want to have with these folks?
Mm-hmm.
So humble yourself. Yeah, we all know you're the leader. You got the title. So for the person who's obsessed with all that, the WOW experience probably ain't for you. Or maybe it is because you need a mindset change. But the point is this: humble yourself and go into this and say, hey, can you do me a favor? Can you do, A, B, and C? Great. Thank you so much. And I started doing that. I wouldn't tell them what to do, walk over there, hey, do this. No, can you do me a favor? We all know that you need to do it, but it's how you approach it. So that's
Right.
an example of what serving is all about,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
it really is about your team. It really is about the people that you work alongside. If you don't have people reporting to you, it's about, if you're an individual contributor, it's about people that are working alongside you. How do you make them feel? Are you really there to dictate, or are you there to contribute and to serve? So
Right.
as leaders, oftentimes that gets confusing for folks because
Mm-hmm.
they get a title or the title or a title, whatever, and they think it gives them the ability, the license to treat people any kind of way, talk to people any kind of way. And that is not the success, the what's the word I'm looking for? The equation, excuse me, for success. That's not it. That's not
Right.
how it's going to happen. And so serving, it's so important.
Right.
Almost like, Stephanie, we should have let the first S in shoes should be serving. But I like how it's shipped. We get you ready, and then we hit you with the serve at the end.
Yes.
So It is so important to have that right mentality when walking in the right shoes, especially again, if you're trying to influence a team of people that you have, whether
Yes.
it's in corporate or whether if you're running your business. So serving is, and we'll get into it more. We'll unpack it a lot at the WOW
Yes.
experience, but that's really what the last S in shoes is all about.
Awesome. Awesome. So, and I want to just chime in too on serving. Like, you have to be able to serve others first. Like, it's a must. If, you know, serving isn't all bad, but we've been conditioned somewhere along the line that serving is like, you're losing yourself. You don't have control.
Right.
They're telling me what to do. It's none of that. It's none of that. And I think a great leader anticipates challenges. A great leader serves first, and they understand. They understand whether it's employees, whether it's your customers, whether it's your peers, they understand where they're coming from because they've come from that place before. And so serving is like, that is key. It's key to serve. And so again, the WOW experience, for those who are tuning in, thank you all for tuning in. During the WOW experience, we're going to uncover, right, the disruptive mindset. We're going to identify and stop recycling waste, exposing the truth about leadership, the value of business acumen, and the brand you method. Now, this brunch is not just your ordinary brunch. It is a leadership brunch for women. We are going to be helping you unpack and overcome waste. And waste, what is waste? It's releasing the bags. It's changing your hats. It is walking in the right shoes.
Yes.
And so Jay and I, we're just super excited about this event. If you have any questions, or you want to grab your ticket, Jay, give them the website. It's going across the screen. So you all, and it's also in the description notes. So if you all want to grab your ticket. We're waiting on you.
Yeah, we're waiting on you. I'm so excited. Cannot wait. This is going to be an experience. Again, it is not going to be your ordinary, okay, I came in, I sat down, I ate great food, I was super motivated, and 2 days later or 2 weeks later, what did I don't remember. What do I need to do? How do I start? Right? You're going to have something tangible in your hand that walks you through what it is that you need to do based upon where you are, because everybody's in a different space in their career, in their business, right? And so we're going to cover all of that under those things that you've mentioned, Stephanie. So the disruptive mindset, right? Business, the importance of business acumen, the truth about leadership. And so we are really, and the brand new method. Oh, I can't wait for that one. I cannot wait for that one. So that is what this experience, and if you're ready for that, you're ready for change, you're tired of the wasteful things that are happening in your career and in your business, right? It seems like you're going around in this circle. You get passed up for opportunity after opportunity. You're wondering why. You are just struggling, right? And so, or if you're just frustrated and burned out and you're just sick of, wherever you are right now. We just went through that in 2020 and 2021. I got to get the numbers for what's happening this year, but women have left the workforce in droves, millions of women. Excuse me. So much so that they called it the Wexit, right? And there was the she session. So what's happening, ladies? What is going on, right? Come to the WOW experience. Yes. And we will help you. If you're right on that brink, right? And you're like, I've had it, I'm ready to go, or I'm shutting this business down, I can't take it anymore. This is for you. This is for you. You need a fresh, tall glass of cold water to refresh and renew yourself. And that's what the WOW experience is going to do for you.
Yes.
I'm excited.
This is awesome. This has been great, Jay. This has been great. So if you have any questions, the link is in the description. It's the wisehatconsulting.com/wow. Grab your ticket. Jay, this has really been exceptional. Like, you really broke down those shoes. Super excited. If you're catching this on the replay, #replay. Thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you all for tuning in on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. We thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. Looking forward to seeing y'all.
Yes, yes. All right. But if nothing else, we'll see you at the WOW experience. And listen, we're releasing the bags, we're changing our hats, and we're walking in the right shoes. Until next time, bye.
Bye.